Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Future Voice Actor here with another Blue Cliff review. Today's review is going to be a newcomer to my collection. A lot of you will recognize him because he was just released as part of the arc. Why am I not doing the entire arc? That's a funny story. I really don't feel like talking about it. You wouldn't believe me anyway. So we're going to be reviewing the component of the arc that becomes Tetraan 1. Ladies and gentlemen, today's Blue Cliff review is going to be about Mainframe. And so to start off with, here we have Mainframe with his box and his mate, the Ark, better known as the Last Autobot. Like I said, I'm not going to be reviewing the Ark. I just wanted to show you what he looks like in comparison to the box, and wow, is that thing a behemoth. And so here we are with Mainframe before Unicron tries to reformat him into Scourge. Right now, let's get a look at his accessories. We have Sky Spy, Navigation Globe, Golden Disc number 1, Sounds of Earth. Look at that and tell me that does not look like the Millennium Puzzle. Golden Disc that everyone is familiar with. I was astounded when I found out that these weren't just a Beast Wars thing, that they were actually a real life thing. And he also comes with a miniature Optimus Prime, but because I have a fear of losing him, I'm not going to show it. Except right here in this photo, right here next to me. Now let's go into transformation. And now we have Mainframe in his Tetraan 1 form. If you ever read the Marvel comics, you would know that the computer for the Ark was actually female, Auntie. That's all Simon Furman and Bob Budiansky. But in the series, Tetraan 1 was voiced by Casey Kasem, one of my personal heroes. You also know him as Cliff Jumper and Blue Streak, and also Dr. Arkaville. Let's be honest, that was a portmanteau of arch villain, if anyone didn't get that. I'm ashamed to say how many years it took me to get that. Got Sky Spy nestled up there nice and snug. On the screens, we've got the key to Vector Sigma and a layout of Vector Sigma itself. And a diagram of the Ark itself, along with the last Autobot's face. And we've got a radar of planet Earth and a readout of the Matrix. Or, presumably, it's where the Matrix was being stored in Transformers Headmasters. And here we have the golden discs. Now, part of the Blue Cliff scale for today is going to be not only how it looks, but how it interacts with other figures. Generation 2 Sideswipe. Warning, warning, Decepticon Space Bridge has been reactivated. Oh, snap! Oh, it's Nemesis Prime, here to destroy Tetraan 1, even though Trypticon is going to be the one to do that in 5 Faces of Darkness. Now, what do you suppose? Since it's on a platform, I think it looks good like that, but let's take a look at what the Ark's computer would look like compared to Nemesis Prime like this. I thought the Commodore 64 was obsolete years ago. Someone tell Hassenfield. Yeah. Sorry, folks, he's a little temperamental. As you can see, he's under Quintesson control. That's another story.
In the world of the Transformers, it used to be easy to tell the Autobots from the Decepticons, but now the mini-spies are on the loose. They look like Autobots, but are they? It's a Decepticon! After him! Transformer mini-spies. Get 'em while supplies last from Hasbro.
Got John Stevenson here as Huffer, and the aforementioned Casey Kasem. And they scale pretty damn good. It's like I'm looking at a DVD of the original Transformers series. And here we have Mainframe in robot mode again. One of the things I forgot to mention is one of my favorite things about him. As anyone who's ever seen my videos or knows me knows, there is nothing I love more than a figure with light piping. Now, I haven't taken the actual Ark out of its box yet, but I couldn't resist with Mainframe. So that's one of the things that I really love about it. Now, in order to get a more in-depth look, let's take a look at a little piece of media here. For those of you who are watching this who were born after 2003, you're not going to know what the heck a VHS is, and that's fine. It's the burden that we 80s kids have to live with. But this isn't a science lesson. We're just going to take a look at one figure here. The only time Optimus Prime was in Five Faces of Darkness was when he was inside the Matrix with Rodimus Prime. So that's fair game. The two in back, I believe, are pretenders. But look at right there. Apart from the color scheme, doesn't he look vaguely familiar? Yeah. We have a very good-looking figure. He comes from the net, through systems, peoples, and cities, in this form. Mainframe. Do you get the reference? Put it down in the comments. So, even though it wasn't a part of the original Five Faces of Darkness, it was one heck of an Easter egg for those of us who weren't around to see the actual early rising of Transformers. The way I got into it was Generation 2, but that's another story. So let's do some size comparisons next. For size comparison, we have Casey Kasem and Scatman Crothers, better known as Jazz, from the Studio 86 line. And once again, we've got his pal Cliff Jumper, also Casey Kasem. And here is Rat Crap. And no, I did not get that name wrong. I know what his real name is, but he was the least favorite character of mine from the whole show. Why do I have him here, you might ask? I'll show you right after the credits. Here he is next to one of my all-time favorite figures besides these two, Sideswipe, aka Michael Bell. Look up at the top of here and you'll see a link to my interview with him. A wonderful man, a great voice actor, the first that I ever got the chance to interview. I don't take that lightly. And for some G1 comparisons, we have him next to Christopher Collins, aka Chris Latta, aka the first Mr. Burns from The Simpsons, Starscream. And I think they scale pretty good together. Here's Mainframe next to Generation 1 Peter Cullen, Optimus Prime. Okay, I lied. It's the one from Walmart, but it still counts. Here he is next to Jack Angel in Rebirth and Roger C. Carmel in the movie and the series. Why did I pull him out? We'll go over to the blinds and I'll show you why. Look at those demonic eyes.
Once Decepticons nearly held the quadrant through terror. Now we scrap like slogs over a few energon cubes. Is this how you honor the memory of Galvatron? Is this the fate of the mighty Decepticon Empire? In the days of Megatron, it was not like this. Shut up, Astro Train. Megatron's gone. And you're not even in this review.
And what's a supercomputer without a Batman? Computer, spectrographic analysis. So in conclusion, looking at Mainframe is really awesome. And for one final comparison, you notice that I put out a little bit of flooring here because I have this also. Now, these are the only two pieces that I have of this Tetraan one. The reason I love this version of Tetraan 1 is because it's convenient, it's really cool looking, it's very well sculpted. I could swear that it was out of the cartoon. But the same thing could be said for the screen here. But I'm not going to go on eBay, and I'm not going to, buy all these fragments, or the toys for that matter, just for something that is so flimsy. Now, don't get me wrong. This thing does have its weak spots. These panels right here, this one on the left, it does fall off. And
let's take a look back here. Looking at this, it's just really awkward. I'm seeing parts of the robot mode and everything here. But since I can just turn it away like this, it's not that big a deal. We're only going to be looking at it in the two modes that I showed you. The third mode is a part of the arc itself, and he's more of a component in that way. So I'm just going to put that to the side for right now, and we're just going to focus on the two.
So, on the Blue Cliff scale, where would I put Mainframe? Well, he's got functionality. He's got a really awesome alt mode. His robot mode is faithful to his original design. And he's got good storage for the navigational globe and for the golden discs. His only weak point, in my opinion, would be what it looks like on the back. But since I display it up front, that's not an issue. Overall, with everything considered, I would have to give him an 8.9 on the Blue Cliff scale. Why such a low score? Well, if I had the arc, I would give it a higher scale. So, theoretically speaking, if I had the arc right here readily available to me, I would give Mainframe a solid 10. You'll find in some of my videos that I can be a little liberal with my scoring, but that's fine. Now, like I said earlier in the video, I don't like Rat Trap. I don't like him at all. But why do I keep him around, you say? Well, let's have Roller answer that. No. Huh? Huh? Target practice.
Thank you very much for watching this episode of Blue Cliff Reviews. For my next episode, I'm going to let you decide. See these bots on my dresser here? Well, I'm going to let you be the one to pick them. I could pick them myself, but that's not as fun. If you want me to do Generation 2 Sideswipe, Cybertronian Mode Bumblebee, or G1 Optimus Prime, or Starscream, or even Nemesis Prime, please let me know in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to make it happen. In the words of my characters in my mythos stories, transform and fly out. Until next time.